We're doing it old school style. Friday Night Pints live here on Zoom. I want everyone to just soak this in, this screen right here. This collection, this is like the Avengers of just dirt balls. This is just the Avengers of scumbag guys, highlighted by the Vindog. We're going to get into it, but it's brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. We're coming up on a year of this new life that we've been living. But one of the best things to come out of Corona and the pandemic was, of course, Friday Night Pints in the original form on Zoom. We used to bring people in one at a time. Fuck it. Everybody all at once. Everybody cracking Miller Lights. Like I said, the original light beer. Great taste, less filling. Whether you're at the bar, whether you're at home, whether you're at the office, hanging out on Zoom, Miller Lite is the only beer. It's brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so you know it's the real deal. It's only 3.2 carbs and 12 ounces per 96 calories. Always celebrate responsibly, but kick back and enjoy yourself here on a Friday afternoon. If you want to get some Miller Lites delivered right to your door, go to MillerLite.com/FNP and find all the delivery options near you. Once again, celebrate responsibly from the Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs for 12 ounces. It's Friday Light Pints, so tweet at us or post on Instagram with the hashtag Friday Light Pints, and we'll post your whole setup. Vindog!
Yeah, what's happening?
Appearance here on Friday Night Pints. We thank you for taking the time, although it sounds like this is going to be nothing for you if you hit the Family Feud next, huh?
Oh, boy, I don't know. My son unexpectedly just enrolled us in the Family Feud, and we're past the first, acceptance spot, and we're going into the second round.
I bet you are, Vindog. I
don't know.
If those producers are even awake during their job, Vindog and the family is making it to the feud. No doubt about that.
Yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun.
Are you good at that game? Have you watched it? Are you familiar with it?
When I was younger, I really liked Richard Dawson, from Hogan's Heroes. He was great.
He was good. He was good. Yeah.
I mean, I watched a lot then, and I skipped a few years, and I watched a little bit with Steve Harvey. I think I can get it back together and do all right. I'll study up. I'll get ready. I have some smart people in my family.
Okay.
My oldest son lives in New York. He's a scientist, so it's good to have him on our side for this.
Okay.
Vindog, wait, did you see the application? How much was it featuring you? I'd imagine the whole thing was just a video of you.
I didn't see it. My son Dylan took care of the whole thing.
Yeah,
he just did it and didn't tell us till after it was done.
Can you imagine being those producers who sift through probably millions of submission videos, be like, my family's the funniest, you got to pick us. And it's like, yeah, whatever. And then Vindog comes across your desk, and it's like, oh my God, we might have found our new host. Forget about a contestant.
Oh, God.
I guarantee you, as far as applications go, it's the first one they've ever seen that said father's occupation. Murders people, memes people to death on the internet.
My son definitely wrote that. Meme Lord, Barstool blogger. He wrote that.
I like to think they just sent the picture we have of Vindog for this promotion, where it's just him as a guy, as a kid, has a tattoo on there, and we're bringing Vinny with the rose on his arm. Vin,
God,
what kind of family are we? Is there a set 5 in your family, or is someone going to get cut here? I don't know how that goes.
We actually fit the bill rather nicely. We get 5.
That's huge.
We got 3 boys and my wife and myself.
Wow.
So I think we could kick some ass on this show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let's go.
I do.
We got Big Cat. Thanks for joining us as you battle on with the Coco. How you feeling?
Like shit. I feel better. I lost taste and smell today, but I also just went I went to get a rapid test to see if maybe I'm negative. Take it. Come back to the hotel room, go literally there, back, email, negative, fuck yes. 10 minutes later, they're like, hey, we screwed up, you're positive. So it's just the opposite of Friday feeling. I was for 10 minutes there, I was I'm fucking free from this hotel room. And then they were just yeah, sorry, your voicemail doesn't work. We tried to calling you, you're positive.
Oh.
So
how are you feeling?
I feel better. I do feel like I've turned a corner. I did lose taste and smell today, but I definitely feel better than I was earlier this week.
Well, donuts canceled tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't think I can go I've been like, I'm not going. I don't want to be around anyone, obviously. So I guess I could get them delivered, but I don't know. What's the point? I can't fucking taste.
Well, we do have a non-COVID haver. Uncle Chaps is joining us. Although,
Yeah, thanks, Chaps.
I don't know who I'd rather be, the non-COVID haver Chaps, but you also got like a fucking needle through your eyeball today. What the fuck was that, Chaps?
No, it wasn't from today. It was from a long time ago. I put that in the ZBT group chat because with Kate being super pregnant, I've been putting all kinds of gross shit into our group chat just to fuck with her. Like I put in last week, there was this TikTok video of this dude that had dandruff and hadn't washed his hair in like 3 years. And the dandruff was so thick that you could crack it and pull it up. And when they did, there was like grubs and shit growing on the inside.
Oh, you're fucked.
Jesus,
Dude.
come on.
So fucked.
Well, you asked.
Well,
You're fucked.
what's up with that fucking eye video? I didn't ask about anything else about on people's heads.
That's fair.
We went through that phase where he was just tweeting fucking lice, like lice, lice getting combed out of hair.
Yeah.
Non-fucking stop. Every day was a chapter of lice tweet. It was a dark time on the internet.
It was.
Do you watch the pimple popping videos, Fights? I feel like you'd be one of those guys.
I actually, as much as I'm grossed out by Chaps right now, I love the pimple popping videos.
Do you?
Oh,
They are.
There's one, Kevin, if you like that, there's one, I won't go far into detail. Have you ever heard of mango worms?
No, I don't know about.
If you go on TikTok and look up mango worms hashtag, it might be the grossest thing on earth.
Okay, I'm gonna specifically avoid that, but I'm gonna have to eventually look at it.
You're gonna look. You're gonna look, and when you do, you're gonna text me, you motherfucker.
I'll probably. Clem, what's going on north of the wall? How we doing, babe?
So right now I have probably the last 20 minutes of silence I'm going to have for a long time here because it's been just an absolute catastrophe the last couple weeks. Sienna has either been off, gotten a snow day, 2-hour delay, or an early dismissal like every day for the last 2 weeks because of the fucking weather. And then she's off for the next week. So I'm just going to have no – and then I just looked at the weather and it's nothing but snow or wintry mix for the next week. It's fucking – hell. So this is my last 20 minutes of freedom, and then I'm going to be in the suck for the next week or so.
Well, just at least you didn't look up mango worms on
I
TikTok.
just did too.
Okay.
God damn it! I just did too. I almost threw up.
Dude, that is absolutely atrocious.
Fuck you, Chaps.
Oh,
There's nothing quite like, and only parents will understand it, when it's like, how you doing, man? And you're like, fucking awful, man. I've been spending a lot of time with my kids. And everybody who has a kid is like, oh, yeah, I know what you mean, dude. And everyone else is like, how could you say that? It's like, yeah, no. There's a limit that you reach. They can send them back to school.
My kids are back in school for the first time since March. McCartney started back on Monday, left the house. Monday and Tuesday here. I, honest to God, think that those were the two best days of my life. Like, because I walked into my house and it was so quiet. And my wife went upstairs and I just like laid on my bed. And I was like, oh, my God, I can think like for myself. I can think. This is unbelievable.
Vindog, how old are your kids?
Oh, God. We're empty nesting.
Yeah. So
my kids are all living different spots.
Around more often now?
My son Dylan comes here quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him and his girlfriend, they get downstairs. First few days, I'm very happy to have him here. It's fun. Then after about 3 or 4 days, it's like, all right, go back. You know, you're making a mess of my house. You're eating all my food.
Yep.
There's nothing left in the fridge. My son Nick comes over, to do his laundry. He used to. Now he doesn't because he got a washing machine. I used to say, the minute my kids get washing machines, I'll never see them. Because that's the only time they come over to wash their clothes, eat my food, then they leave. They don't shovel, so I got to shovel myself.
Oh.
We haven't had as much snow probably as, Coley's had up in Maine, but we've gotten like 4 or 5 inches for a couple of days in a row. And, it's just shoveling the driveway.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain. But no, I love my kids and I do miss them. So enjoy your time with your kids, even though it can be a real pain.
I know. They always say that. It's like, that's life, though.
It's true, though. It's true. I was a little league coach.
The hard times, but then you're going to miss them. That's everything.
You're going to miss them. I miss coaching. I miss all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Vindog, I have a question.
Yeah.
Wait, Vindog, you can still coach. That would be hilarious.
I could.
If you just started being the coach that doesn't have a kid on the team.
No, I think that's really fucked up. You're setting for failure.
that's content, dude. You should
Yeah,
do
that's-
that.
Yeah, it would be fun.
My dad switched to reffing, so that's
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you should rock.
yeah.
I wouldn't
What
wanna
if
do
you
that.
did
get
a-
pushed all the way to your car by angry parents?
Yeah.
You call that a strike? They throw things at your car. It's horrible.
I
That's
think
what he only does basketball because of that. He's like, the ump, fuck the ump. You got to stand there and just take it. Basketball, I could run to the other side of the court, just tell him to fuck off, So
Yeah.
I feel like anybody who coaches who doesn't have a kid on the team, I would be weirded out by, unless they were like, no, look, it's Vindog. You can see him on the internet. I'd be like, all right, then it's cool.
I
Like,
can
Yeah.
definitely see Vin
I
being
used to
like
be
a
a Cub
pony
Scout
league
leader.
umpire.
Now I'm coaching baseball. Yeah.
Pony league umpire. That's what you should do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The kids
Eddie,
can beat me up.
who won the snake draft, Eddie? I never saw the official winner.
Chief won this week.
Honestly, the more I thought about it, that's a bad pick. His last pick was fucking trash. I was good 1 through 5. I knew that
No,
was
the day after the NBA Finals.
Yeah, one good pick, Eddie. All it was a mile in school. That was it.
I know. That's what I was saying. It's like, okay, it was a very good creative pick, but if you look at the standard like weight of everything else, he wasn't a winner. But what are you gonna
Trash
do?
pick. I almost regret how much credit I gave him for that pick on the draft, like on the stream. I was like, oh, fucking great pick. I hyped him up too much.
Yep, you did. You did. The Barada fucking gang came to play.
There are really two ways to go about like your dog walk. If you just look at that, like at the graphic without listening to the podcast, and then you listen to the podcast, they are two completely different graphics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, your mind gets completely swayed because I've put votes in. Then listen, like, holy shit, I want that vote back. That guy sucks. This guy was so much better. It's crazy how much it changes listening to the
Yep.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, what kind of operation are you running over there, Ed? Jesus Christ.
We'll see. We just recorded Mondays. It's reality TV with Rhea, so it's pretty good one too.
Yeah, how did she do? I saw Hank's tweet saying I just like prepped her for everything.
I think she did fine.
Yeah.
Like she did pretty good, I'd say.
Okay,
I
that's
think,
like her
I think
specialty.
Rhea's going to dominate. I think Rhea's going to do very well because I think you guys have like with us, right? We have similar audiences, and we kind of just like split each other. It's like almost like a splitting MVP votes on the same team. Whereas Rhea's going to bring a whole new gang that's all voting for Rhea.
True.
But it is.
True.
It depends on if you look at the graphic and you're voting anonymously, right? If you
Yep.
know Rhea's picks, then you're going to vote that way. If you look at the graphic,
Wait, is that a recent change? Because I remember like it used to be like Chief, Eddie, blah 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 blah, and then the anonymity does add a different factor to it.
Yeah, we changed it for Fran because we just thought that the Fran crowd would just come in and just bulldoze us, so we
yeah,
just
so
we
you
changed
guys
it.
are afraid. You're too fucking scared. I get it.
Hey,
Yo,
That's
Dan,
gonna.
I've been thinking about it since you said it. You lost taste and smell. Does that
Yeah.
happen like snap of a finger, or do you wake up and it's gone? Like,
No, I
the-
woke up. I woke up and I drank some coffee and I could only feel it. I could only taste it on the side of my tongue. And I was like, that's weird. And then I took out my deodorant stick and smelled it and couldn't smell anything.
And it's very, very obvious like that. It's not like
Yeah.
well, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Do you
gone.
think you could
Yeah.
like go and get like a pickle or something super flavorful to wake it up?
Yeah, I think so. Right now, I don't know. Like, I have at least a tiny bit of taste. I have no smell. So I think that if I ate something that was very hot or had like a strong taste, I'd still taste it. But the no smell thing is weird. Like literally holding a deodorant stick underneath my nose and doing inhaling as hard as I can and couldn't smell a thing.
I saw
Crazy.
something on TikTok.
You could eat
that was
cheese and you could cut cheese and you wouldn't be affected by it.
Yeah,
Not
there
bad.
it is.
It's also prime time for you to suck a little dick.
Yeah.
You're so rude, Chaps.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't taste it. Like, what if somebody had asparagus? You wouldn't even know.
That's what's been keeping
What if
you.
I like the taste of it, Chaps?
Yeah, I don't want the taste because I know a lot of people don't clean themselves well, and I think it tastes like pee.
Very presumptuous of you to think I don't like the taste of it.
Non-COVID haver.
Well,
I saw some shit on TikTok that was like if you take a grapefruit and you put like brown sugar on it and then you light it on fire, this, that, and everything, it's supposed to wake your taste buds back up. I don't know how much you care about it or not.
oh,
I think there are ways around it.
That sounds like
You just gotta eat healthy. Dan, you eat healthy for the next 2 weeks, you'll be fucking trim as
I
shit.
know. That's what I'm hoping. But I also think someone pointed out a very good point. Like, they're like, yeah, it happened to me, and I thought I was going to eat healthy. But really, I just ate worse, hoping that my
Taste it.
taste would come back.
Yeah.
Like everything I was eating was like trying to bring it back by being like, "Ooh, I'm gonna eat this delicious thing."
Now, what if you make everybody else miserable and you go this Stephen Che route and just go to like Red Robin's and order nothing but like bottomless broccoli,
Broccoli,
and you just absolutely crush it?
broccoli all the time.
How insufferable was Stephen Che over the Super Bowl?
I missed it. I tested positive on Monday morning. I missed the whole day.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to replay it when I come back.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was very insufferable in his own way.
Had to be.
But Stephen Che also is like, his insufferable nature comes out in subtle things. Like it will come out in a comment in like March,
Yeah.
where he'll just look down on everyone.
Hey, buddy.
So
Hey,
yeah, right,
you did.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't think I've told this to anybody yet. You know, he snubbed me Monday. You got Monday. He coming by my desk to go to the printer. I put out a fist pound like congrats, bud. Doesn't pound me.
Did he acknowledge that he knew your fist was out there?
He didn't do anything. Just like he gave me a what's up, and I went congrats, bud. And then he fucking just kept it moving.
Wow.
Stood there waiting for his paper to print. Fucking left.
I mean, that's an alpha move right there. You got like prima nocted on that shit. Holy
I won the Super Bowl too. That's teammate congratulations. That wasn't a congratulations like, hey, good for you, Stephen Che. That's a hey, buddy, we did it.
He braided you. He gave you the Brady because he has Brady. So now he alphaed you because he has Brady now.
The way he was being such a Brady fan, he was giving you the Brady treatment. Yeah.
No, I bet that's just. I bet he was mad. I like was happy.
Much like I didn't want Tommy Smokes to live out his dream, I didn't want Stephen Che to live out his either. I mean, he's been here 45 minutes. 1 year later, he gets a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback, and he went, no, this is not how it's supposed to go. I hate that.
No, I think Stephen Che. I will. He's been grinding. Like Stephen
He's
Che.
been here a
for a
long time. He's
while.
been here like almost 4 years.
Yeah, he was like employee like 15 or something. So he has been
he-
here a long time. He is big in the film community. He's a fucking psychopath with the Bucks. The only reason you could say that you didn't want him to win is the only issue I have with Stephen Che is he's unflappable with like when the Bucks would suck, he would just be like, whatever, we got the draft. Like he can't be. He has no bad. People always will treat like no bad days. And you're like, yeah, there's bad days, dude. Shut up. Stephen Che is literally no bad days.
I mean,
He definitely hit a Brad Johnson jersey, and that's okay for me. Like he could be happy.
Yeah,
If you hit a Brad Johnson jersey, like that's my bar.
Brad Johnson, famous ball deflator.
shut the fuck
Oh.
up.
Was he?
Yeah, that was of all I know a lot about people who deflated balls even a little bit. Brad Johnson before that Raiders Super Bowl, he went back and he made everyone deflate and scuff the balls, like 200 balls. It was a big thing that no one cared about because it was Brad fucking Johnson.
I think about all the new Barstool fans from the last few years, and they don't realize how just months of content was just hijacked by the Deflategate. Like Kevin and Dan know more than anyone. Every fucking rundown for years just went back to Deflategate. It was unbelievable.
I told Feidelberg, like, a piece of me died in the Deflategate era. Because it was like, at first, it was fun. Then it became like, all right, fuck. Like, there's no evidence, but I got to just, like, dig my heels in. And then Dave, like, carried on. I mean, it was, by the end of it, I was a different person. I was like, I'm not the same blogger anymore because of what Deflategate and those rundowns did. It was so bad. Oh my God.
It was also reached a point where we didn't care. And Dave did so much he read more in that phase of his life than he's ever read in his entire life.
Yeah.
So we would show up. Is that your fax machine, Vin? we would
Call
show
on
up.
the house phone.
He's got a house phone. He get the house phone.
But he has a fancy ass fridge. He's got the fridge with the knock knock thing.
Look at this. Vin,
Whoa.
I'm trying to get
man.
myself another Miller Lite.
There we go.
Cheers.
We would
Man,
show
you're
up
doing
to the
pretty well if you
rundown.
got the knock knock fridge.
Yeah, we would
My
show up to the
goodness.
rundown every day, and Dave would have like new facts that he would then goad us into an argument and beat us in an argument because he actually cared, and we'd just be like, this sucks
Yeah.
every day.
It led to one of my. Sorry, Eddie. Go ahead. All right. It led to one of my favorite things. One of my highlights of all time on the rundown is Tico Texas being like, "What's the flaking?"
Yeah.
Dave going, "How much time you got?"
And
25
we just left. We
And then
just left.
he left, and he explained the flaking for like a half hour in Tico, Texas.
Oh,
Your mic is off, Eddie.
come back to us, Eddie.
You're good now.
Because I want to hear Eddie's take on this.
Nope.
No.
Very far away.
I do got to ask him about his new role as he's got more FaceTime with Portnoy than absolutely anybody right now. I don't know how he fucking does it. That's a daunting task to have. Clem, do you ever think about what would have happened if Barstool was cooking when the Giants were beating the Patriots? Giants fans, as satisfying as that was, if you now work for Barstool, you missed this opportunity to rub it in, but also would it have been awkward because Dave would fucking hate you, Clem.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I would have been target on the back. I mean, you just talked about the Dave Portnoy show. That is our Summer Jam screen. That's the last place I say, I don't want my name on the Dave Portnoy show, even if it's something good. People are like, oh, you know, Dave said your name, it was good. I was like, that doesn't, because then he circles back and remembers something bad he doesn't like about me. Target on the back. Stephen Shea, he was smart though. Him and Dave had their friendly ribbing. When Brady won the Super Bowl, Stephen kind of just you know, a couple of little barbs here and there. That was it. So you got to be smart about it. I would not have been that would have sucked too. Not enjoying my fucking team beating an 18-0 team because I'm scared my boss might fire me.
Yeah. Eddie, you
Yeah,
back?
but if you guys did the run, if you guys did if you did the fucking electric chair and you were there when the Plaxico Burress catch happened. Oh my God, dude.
I mean, even I feel like when the Jets beat the Patriots in the playoffs, it was what was that, 2010? So I was 1 year in, a little over a year in, and it was satisfying. But, you know, basically the difference is I didn't absolutely hate Dave at that point. So there was nothing to really rub in other than hey, we beat Brady. But now, if that kind of stuff happened later in the career, oh my God.
If Clem would have walked into work the next day in a David Tyree jersey or something.
Hey, I was in a house full of Patriots fans, and one of my best friends is a Giants fan. And he's wearing the whole Giants stuff, sneakers, hat, jacket, pumping his fist. My friends wanted to kill him.
I know.
That's when the Giants won. My buddy's like, shut the TV off, shut it off. Shut it off. My Giants fans going, can you put it on? I want to see the trophy presentation. So I'm like, all right. He deserves it. He gets to watch it. I put it on. My other buddy from Connecticut was going to stay over and leave the next day. He said, I got to go. Jumped in his car and drove home.
Wow.
Couldn't even watch that trophy presentation.
I did the same thing. That in 07, I was in college and I was at a party. I went to college in Florida, so I wasn't. They weren't Giants fans, but they weren't. They were people who hated the Patriots. They just wanted the Patriots to lose. So it was everyone was going crazy. It was right as soon as the ball went through Moss's hands, but just outside his outreach fingertips. I just got up, had a 12-pack or an 18-pack, whatever it was, and just got up and just started roaming the streets by myself. I wasn't even walking home. I didn't live far from the house I was at. I just started roaming the streets. It was pouring rain in Tallahassee that day, and it was just roaming the streets, drinking beers. I had no idea what to do with my life, but I knew I had to get the fuck out of there.
Oh, I would have loved it. I would have loved to soak that in, man. Eddie, when we lost you for a second there, we were just saying you got the new gig that has the most FaceTime with Dave Portnoy out of anybody in the company now. And sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. How is the Dave Portnoy show going?
Well, it's funny because I think you guys could relate to it very well. And what I was saying beforehand, it was I remember your face is it's it's so stuck in my brain, that guy when the Undertaker lost at WrestleMania, the shock face. You and Dan, your faces when he would bring up the Flakegate on, and just dread is burned in my brain.
Mhm.
Those are going nowhere of how much you guys did not give a fuck.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, I mean Monday was, if you saw the show, he wasn't really into it.
It was funny. I texted Eddie because I did listen to a little bit of the latest episode, and there are times where Dave is just not doing it, and Eddie was like, "So, what'd you think of this? And what'd you think of that? And we did this, and how about this?" And he was just like, "Yeah, no, yes, don't care, whatever, moving on." And when that's happening, it's okay, just gonna punt. This episode is just that's it. There's nothing to it. There's no getting him out of that funk, you know.
Yeah, it's it's like an icy road. Like you want to go faster, you want to keep pushing it, but if you push it, like you're headed down a dangerous path. I mean, that's understandable. Like this day of the year, like things went to shit. So
Yeah, it's just funny. It's it's once a week. So when you don't give any effort, it's a long time between good efforts.
yeah.
Doing God's work out there, Eddie. You're have you like change your approach at all, or do things differently now, or has the show evolved, or you're just like same approach you've always had?
No, I think once you accept it, like you know what I mean. Like as far as like how it is, like some days he's not going to want to talk a lot, some days he is, and like I mean, it's like it's his right? Like he's fucking. You gotta just sense the mood right away. I remember we when Dave called the election early on that Tuesday night was very wrong. And the next day, it was a Wednesday, so we did Pick'em and college football show. And he was like, everyone was like going after him on Twitter, and he was like thinking about what to say. Like I remember I did Pick'em, and I don't think he said like one thing. He just was so preoccupied. It's like, all right, let's just power through it. Like it is what it is, And then the next week he was back. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean the Conseco thing didn't go great, and then the app was down, and there was no chance he was going to want to talk about like Tommy Smokes and surviving Barstool. That's not
right.
not
Which is fair for him. Yeah. Like the app being down on Super Bowl Sunday, I was just as pissed as him.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. All right, Eddie, you want to get going? It's 4:30. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I keep looking around the bubbles and I keep seeing people. I'm laughing. It's such a good crew. So
it's a wrecking crew. But
have a beer. Have a good weekend, guys.
All right,
Eddie.
Chaps, new house, huh?
Yeah, dude. It's been a process. So they tore down this big green belt behind my house. And you guys saw, like I came on and talked about the Thule stuff that I've been doing, working my ass off every day during the summer. And then I was looking forward to this summer coming up, doing the same thing, just chilling in my stock tank pool and hanging out. I come out, I think it was like one of the last 2 or 3 days of radio. I get off of radio after being in my office. I walk outside, and all of the 8 acres are gone. Like it took them like 2 or 3 hours to get rid of every tree. Like there was big oak trees. There was all kinds of stuff. I couldn't see the road that was a long ways away. I walked out there one day and it was completely gone. And there was just a family of deer hanging out in this middle of the field. Like, where the fuck did my house go? Like just hanging out. It was awful. And that day I was like, I'm putting the house on the market. We're going to go buy a new house. And we did it. We move in like 3 weeks.
You did it fucking fast. I didn't realize it's been that quick a process. Last day radio was what, 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. So we went in, we're looking, and it's like such a buy or seller's market right now. And we were looking, and this house came up. I was looking at Zillow. It had been on the market for 8 minutes when I called my realtor. And we were the very first people in the house the next day. We walked out and immediately made an offer.
Wow.
And they accepted it luckily.
You got to do it that way.
Yeah.
Chaps, I believe I've seen the Zillow link. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Seriously.
It's a beautiful house.
It is palatial. It's
Are you gonna skinny dip?
What's that?
Are you gonna skinny dip?
Oh yeah, dude, because it's like totally private. Like there's nothing else around. Like I was talking to this pool dude, and even just the amount of concrete that's involved with this pool, it's huge, man. It looks like a hotel pool. Like I was going out there. I was just there earlier today, like doing some measurements and stuff. And I went out there and I was like, I can't believe this is going to be my house. Like I'm a poor kid that grew up with all of his grandparents in trailers and shit. And now this is going to be my house. It's crazy.
I'm so happy for you. I am so happy for you.
And it doesn't even flood. Like the bottom level doesn't even flood.
Why do I live here? Why? It's crazy. It's the stupidest thing in the fucking world. What am I doing?
My office is a wine cellar. Like I'm going to turn the wine cellar into my office, and it's supposed to stay. The guy said it stays at 62, 64 degrees all year long. So even in the summertime, I won't be hot in my office, and I don't even have to run the AC.
That is fucking incredible.
Yeah, dude. It's on the back.
Living in a wine cellar. Forget the wine. I'm just going to put the booze in there.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's like every time I go in there and like to do different things, I'm just shocked that this is going to be my house. It's crazy.
Good for you, man. I'm joking around, but I am happy for you. That's a big thing in life where you're like, all right, I'm set. This is the spot. We're done.
Yeah, because wifey finishes her doctoral program. She actually gets the DR in front of her name next month too. So big month over here for us.
This is the Chaps brag hour now.
Mhm.
You're just running up the score.
I have a fucking beautiful home. It's
You should shave your face, Chaps.
Yeah.
You should shave.
Yeah.
Look at that beard.
I am
Even it
worried
out.
about like
Even it
because
out.
I am a firm believer that the grossest time to have a beard is when you're in like water, or it's just so gross. When you come up after being submerged and you have a beard, it feels like you just have pubes growing on your face. Wet beard on your face is the worst.
Vindog, when was the last time you didn't have a stash?
It's probably like 17.
Really?
Oh my God.
Jesus.
love it.
As soon as I could
love
grow
it.
one, I had one. Then I never
Ben,
shaved.
we should do some type of bet where it's my beard for your mustache.
What would it take for you to cut to shave your mustache?
I wouldn't do it.
What? Like, give me a dollar amount. How much?
Would have to be like $500. Anyway, $500 would do it.
I thought you were gonna say like 5 million.
I
I don't go that high. It grows back. It's not like I'm gonna rip it off and it's gone.
5.
All right, I'll go 1,000.
Make that happen, man. We
Yeah,
can make
Ben, go up, Ben. Go up. Some of this money that gets thrown around at Barstool, go up. Get a real payday here.
We'll get you. We'll start a fucking fund and probably get you like $1 million, Vindog. 500. Come on, aim for the stars.
I wouldn't recognize myself in the mirror.
Yeah, I know it's got to be weird, right? I've seen who was it, or maybe it was just like on the internet. I've seen situations where a guy shaves his beard after 20 years, and like his own kids are like, "Who the fuck is that? I don't even know who you are."
My sister, she studied abroad in Greece, and the day before she left to come back, I told her, I was like, by the way, Dad shaved his mustache, and he had a mustache his entire life for us too. And she's like, oh my God. So she gets off the plane. My dad still has his mustache. She's like, I thought you'd shave. She said that's all she thought about the entire way home. Like the 18-hour flight was my dad without a mustache and what he would look like. And it was all a bunch of so I can't your kids it would blow their minds. It would just
They told me not to. They don't want me to.
Yeah, at this point,
One time I wanted to do it because someone said you look younger without a mustache.
That's
so I was
true.
at an age where I thought maybe I'd look a little younger. And
I guess, but I don't know. It's got good color to me. It's like part of your personality. I mean, you're not the Vindog without the stash.
I got to have the stash.
What?
I grew a little goatee one year, and I got sick of that really quick. I did.
You're a stash guy. You're
I'm a
just
stash guy.
that picture, man. The one that we used for the graphic here.
Yeah.
How old are you in that picture? Do you know?
Oh, I was probably like 20.
I mean,
oh no, I was probably 29.
Look at that guy. That
You
guy
look incredible.
sex bomb.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Look what
realize.
happened to me. It's going to happen to you guys too. All of a sudden, you look in the mirror, you see an old person. You know
The
what
main
really
screen was
is
up.
bad? You look in the mirror and your eyes will play tricks and you look a little younger, but then someone takes a picture of you.
Yes.
And hands it to you, and you're looking, who the fuck is that old
Yep.
man? Like, oh shit, that's me.
Being on camera and pictures and stuff. Like in the morning, I look at myself. I'm like, you don't look that bad. And then I'll see a picture or a video that we're on. I'm like, oh no, this is not a good situation at all.
No, I don't even look at pictures of myself.
No.
And I hate to be in a restaurant that has mirrors on that side. And I sit in the booth and like, I don't want to look at myself. And people are really ridiculous. They put mirrors behind the toilet. So now it's a double whammy. You're looking at your face and your junk. And now you're staring at your junk and it's like, no, I don't want to look at my junk.
No, mine either. Mine's terrible.
That people do that. They put mirrors behind toilets.
It's Stu Finder. Yeah, you're talking about Stu Finder. He's got like a fun house in his fucking shitter that he always does videos from.
It's just that's a horror. That's a house of horrors right there. Who did
His
you?
house is actually incredible, by the way, Kevin. You should go.
His house.
Stu Finder's- yeah.
I do actually want to get my kids out there and just let them run fucking wild in his backyard. It's quite. Like, they loved that video of him diving in the pool the other day. They watched that like 50,000 times, and I was like, oh boy, the kids are on to Uncle Stu. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got the house that like everyone, like he makes it so that everyone wants to go to his house. It's actually a very fun place to be.
No, I believe it. It's probably gonna be like what Chaps' little fucking compound is gonna be like.
Well, you know what the worst thing about this whole thing is? Took my older kid there for today, and I was like, "What do you think?" And she had only seen like pictures. She was like, "It's pretty nice." I
Oh,
was like, "You fucking
Oh my god.
piece of shit! How dare you? How dare you?"
I figured she was gonna be jealous that like that wasn't the house she got to grow up in. Like my parents just bought a new house. And I'm like, why the fuck did you buy this house when I was younger? Because like I would have liked to live here, and I don't ever get to.
Yeah,
she's
man.
still got quite a bit of years to grow up. I don't know if she has to worry about that yet. But it's also just she's also probably that age where she just doesn't.
Well, she's what? She's a junior, right? Junior in high school.
Sophomore. She's been around for a bit, but she's just mad that she's further away from her friends, which I understand. Like not being able to drive quite yet. Like she's almost there where she can drive, but like it's like 20 minutes away. So she's like, it's not by my friends, and my room's a little bit small because her room in this house is ridiculously big, but there it is a little bit smaller.
McCartney's grade.
Yeah, McCartney is fucking jammed though. McCartney is ready. Like, I'm gonna learn how to swim so much better. I'm gonna do so many awesome dives and cannonballs. I go into the bath, like McCartney takes a bath in our bathroom. I go in there yesterday. McCartney's underneath the water, and Tupac is blaring on the Google. And I was like, "What are you listening to?" And McCartney's like, "I love this song about California." And practicing holding her breath.
Dude, McCartney's got a contract with Barstool the day she wants to start making content.
Well, those awards that you do, I always am worried about putting stuff up about McCartney because it wouldn't fit. Like that would definitely, my kid that is 6 years old or 5 years old came home with a razor blade in their pocket. Be like, no, they didn't. They did.
Honestly, that I can believe way more than, beautiful paintings or political commentary. McCartney coming home with a razor blade, I'd be like, oh yeah, that shit is fucking true.
There's so many things every day that they do. And I'm just like, if there's like a Truman Show following this kid around, McCartney would be a bigger star than the Kardashians. I have no doubt in my mind.
Well, Chaps, you could just do that, brother.
Yeah, but I don't want to get my ass kicked either because it involves like picking up sticks. Like they'll come home with like a 6 foot long piece of bamboo. And I'm like, where did you get that? And they were like, well, I found it in a ditch. I'm like, well, what were you doing in a ditch? You're 8. Where were you? We don't have any ditches around here.
You're 8. Hey, Vindog.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I just want to put this out there. When Chaps moves into this new house and if he shaves his beard, he's not invited onto the Man Mountain episode. When we do another one of these, when Eddie comes back, we're getting someone else with facial hair and lives like in lower middle class stature. I do not want upper class.
You're going to be too bougie to do this episode again. This is it for you.
Well, it's still me because I pulled up to that house today where in my yellow 2012 Dodge Ram. I can't imagine because my house is going to be like the cheapest house in that neighborhood. I can't imagine they're going to be thrilled. It's going to be like the Beverly Hillbillies. Like we showing up. You're in the yellow truck. McCartney's like firing off fireworks. Barstool's putting out their neighborhood on blast. It's going to be a shit show. Yep, I'm going to have all my tattoos out, wearing my Golden Girl shirt. You got to put like patio furniture on the front lawn and just sit out. Oh yeah, a little light and your Ronald McDonald tattoo out. No HOA at this place. Anything goes. I'm going to park an RV straight in the fucking front yard. Vindog, did you who gave you the name Vindog? Is that you, or is that a nickname for a long time now, or what?
Well, it's been my nickname for quite a while.
Okay.
It was my handle on eBay.
Wow. That was actually your original game, not even the memes. It was getting into the auctions at the last second, right?
Yeah. The eBay thing was really a lot of it. Still is a lot of fun. I still like the win an auction. What's your best purchase at an auction, or something you're most proud of? Well, I mean, I was just talking about last night. I got a Tom Seaver glove, vintage, nice one. How much? I got it for like $57.
Wow, that's
and then of course Tom Seaver died 2 months later.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now all of a sudden I got the glove. So.
I was gonna say that's actually pretty good for business. So
Yeah, well, I like Tom Steve. I don't want to see anything happen to him.
no,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. We're
Great
messing.
player. When I did my blog this week about the Toms, he was like number 3 on my list of Tom terrifics. You know,
I mean,
It's pretty good. I mean,
Wait,
there's a
so-
lot of Toms. To be number 3 isn't anything.
well,
to
you got Tom
stick at.
Brady.
Brady was 1. Who was 2?
Number 2, I had what's his name, the golfer who got the hole in one. A couple holes in one. Tom. Can't think of his name.
Watson?
Watson.
Wow, he must have been really terrific.
I mean,
Yeah, he was good.
we can't remember his name. I think Tom Seaver maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
Tom
I'm not
Watson.
a big golfer.
He's unbelievable on the senior tour too.
Yeah, I don't watch golf as much, but I figured a lot of people do, so I made him number 2. It wasn't like in order. I had Tommy Hearns.
I like
had,
this. 'Cause everyone who makes top 5s, they do their personal top 5s. Vindog was a top 5 for the people.
For the audience.
I try to, I know
Yeah.
that people like golf,
Did the
Tom
cartoon cat
Barrasso
make
was
it?
up there. Tom
The
Barrasso
cartoon
was up.
cat?
Yeah. What about Tom from Tom and Jerry?
I limited it to athletes
Okay.
Mm.
because there's just too many great Toms in the history
Right.
of the world. I mean,
So many.
so many.
So you start eBay auctioning, and you just threw out Vindog as your handle.
Yeah, that was it. It was actually Vindoggy at the time.
Oh man, I like that even more.
Ooh. All right. Wait,
But I
can we
had an
go-
argument with eBay, and we got into it, and I shut the account down. So,
wait, before you tell us about this argument, Vindog, can we next week get top 5 non-athlete Toms? I'd like.
yeah, I
that.
can do that. I can do that.
All right, cool. Thank you. Tom's
There's a lot of really
Engine.
good Toms.
You should
And
just
that was
do
lots of
Toms like
Toms.
all kinds of Toms. Top
There's
5
lots.
artists named Tom. Top 5
Yeah,
musicians
do it
named
all.
Tom.
I want it. I want it next week. But
Hey.
what, you got in an argument over your name on eBay?
No, it was over like money with eBay. They were trying to. They used to charge you every time you relisted something, and it's like the product was worth $8, and I owed them like $37 for relisting, and like, no, I'm not going to do that. That makes no business sense. I'm not doing it. We got into a big fight, and I said, boom, shut the account. Yeah.
My business
And then you just open up another account, and you're back in business again. Yeah.
Vindoggy too.
Yeah.
Then you go over to Twitter as Vindog, and you're just fucking around with the memes. How does this whole thing go?
Well, I got into first it was Facebook. I was a Facebook addict.
Yeah.
The video.
Yeah.
And then I got out of that because it was just got crazy. And then I got into Twitter. And now I can't believe it. Like Twitter is my number 1. Facebook, I go in there, it's like all my older friends are on Facebook.
Yeah.
So it's like I enjoy that, but it's a completely different experience from Twitter.
What made,
As is Instagram,
what made you start memeing people?
it was like a competitive thing. You get into an argument, and the most effective way to beat them was with a meme. You just bang, send it out there. And then they sit there, they think about it, you send another one. They're overwhelmed. And then they just back down, and it's over. You see them, they just shut down, and they're gone.
And how
It was kind of fun.
did somebody just tag you, like tag Dave in your stuff? How did the
No.
Well, Dave saw the movie, and he saw parts of it. I don't think he saw the whole thing. And then suddenly he wanted to hire me. And I didn't know much about Barstool then. I mean, a little bit. But one of my former students texted me and said, "Hey, you're a big star on Barstool. What's that?" He said, "Oh, it's, he told me how to get there." And I went on there. Wow, look at that. And then Dave contacted me, said he wanted to meet up and he wanted to hire me. And I'm like, what? And then my youngest son, Dylan, is like the one with the Family Feud. Dad, take it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. I'm a teacher. I can get a pension. I can just hang out for a few more years here and I'm all set. No. We went to meet Dave a year ago. Actually, I've been there on February 7th. It was 1 year.
Wow.
It's 1 year anniversary.
Gave up the pension for Barstool?
Yeah.
Wow, buddy.
Yeah.
Now-
I gave up a little bit, but you know what? It's well
Working-
worth it. I mean,
Working with Dave it's a pension. He'll pay you literally forever. So
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
matter. But that's a bold move, man. That's a lot of work.
I had to give it some thought.
Yeah.
And my son Dylan is just saying, "Dad, you got to do this. You always wanted to do this. I'm 63 years old. I mean, I could be dead,
You're not getting any younger.
And I'm still breathing." He says, "Do it. Just do it." My wife was finally on board. She said, "Go ahead, just do it." So I
See,
gave her
that's the
notice.
one. Your kids don't give a shit because they're like not really adults. Like they're young adults, so they're not really adults. But your wife being on board when she knows that pension is coming pretty soon and being
Yeah.
like, go after it. That is the deal. That's like what allowed you to do it, essentially.
Well, she works for the same school system. So we were in the same building.
Okay.
So I could walk down the hallway and there's my way. You know.
Oh yeah. That's
And
probably why she
Vindog,
probably wanted you to get away.
Vindog, it was this is how crazy Barstool is, and like people who get hired, there's a lot of circumstance and luck. So I remember specifically the video because our main account tweeted it. I saw it, someone retweeted it like 5 days later. I saw it. I was fucking obsessed with it. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I tweeted it, and then Dave hit me up and was like, "Who is this guy? How did you find this?" I'm like, "Our main account tweeted it." So he totally missed it. I totally missed it. Thank God someone saw it eventually because it's the funniest fucking video. If you haven't seen it, his son made a documentary about Vindog being addicted to memes, and it's like completely straight, like no, like just like my dad has a problem. He's addicted to memeing people to death. It's the funniest fucking video. I laughed so hard when I saw it.
There was no script. We just right here in the kitchen, right in this kitchen.
Yeah,
We did it right there. And it was just like my son started, my son had a habit, we lived in this house for 34 years. And, he would just, like when he got old enough, he had an iPhone. He would just take it out and start recording me and chasing me around like paparazzi. And it's like, stop. And, I'm a plumber and I get the plumber's crack going. And he'd get these videos of me and put them online. And one day I said to him, that's it. You don't put that thing away. I'm going to break your phone. And he thought I was fooling around. I grabbed his phone, I took it, grounded him. But then he started taking videos of me, and the first one was the swipe with the birthday candles.
Yeah.
He did it. And then all of a sudden, he wakes me up at like 3 a.m, Dad, your video's going viral. And here I am. I'm like 63 years old. I'm like, what do you mean it's going
He
viral?
woke you up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Dad, you wouldn't believe it. The video's going viral.
I would have said, you know what? It's gonna be viral at 8 a.m. So you can wake me up then, brother. Doesn't
I looked at my wife, I'm like, what
Did
is
you even know what
mean?
viral
You
meant
know
at that
viral
time, Vin?
meant.
Yeah, you
know
know
what
what it means.
So the next thing you know, by the morning, it was like crazy. It was the last day of school. And then I got a call from ABC News. They wanted to do a thing. And then, of course, LeBron James wins the NBA title. I was scheduled to go on Good Morning America. First
You're gonna say
time
LeBron tweeted it.
LeBron wins the NBA championship. They X me out. I'm all done. LeBron's in there. That's why I hate LeBron James. That was my big freaking chance to be somebody, and like LeBron James took it from me all day long. All they talked about was him. So I missed it. That was it. Done.
Wow.
But that video did well. And then him and his girlfriend decided to do My Dad, the Facebook Addict. And it was slow and it kept going. And when they finally went back and they edited and cut it and they had music to it and they put the swipe at the end of it, I'm like, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. We ended the, people from Massachusetts, the Somerville Film Festival. There was like
really?
1,000 people. 1,000 people wanted in on it. And they chose us as one of the 18 that got in.
Wow.
So we went to the showing of it, and there's all these serious avant-garde. What is this movie about? It's black and white, and I really don't know. What is that? I'm thinking, what is this about? Oh well, that one there is doing this, and okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden, they put My Dad, the Facebook ad on. The place is laughing hysterically. I'm looking around, I'm like, this is unbelievable. These people are laughing. I didn't think they were capable at first. They were just and next thing you know, they're laughing their asses off, and like. Then at the very end, they think it's over. Then the swipe comes on. And then they're laughing all over again. But we didn't win anything.
Were you trying to be yourself then in the video? Or were you like hamming it up a little bit?
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like real life Best in Show or like Spinal Tap. It's just Vin being like, yeah, I meme him to death. Like, what do you want me to do?
But then I get serious at the end because I realize that like, on Facebook, the arguments, it's like multiplying by 0. It really adds up to nothing. And it's just a big waste of everybody's time to argue like that because you don't get anywhere. Everybody's just – so it got serious. And at the very end, my son had this idea. His dad, you're going to go on Twitter now. So at the end, I get off of Facebook. Everybody's like, okay, he's done. He's done. And then my son pauses it, and he ended up adding the little section where I sign on to Twitter. And it's like – it was just – I'm telling you, it was so much fun to make. And it's only 10 minutes and 18 seconds long.
We need to unleash Vin in like the Barstool Reddit. Let him start going after people there.
Reddit.
Yeah, the Reddit people are pretty cool. They like that stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a great time. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I haven't been able to get into New York. I know you guys. It's like I'm Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, and I wake up.
I know.
Like, hey, I know you. You're KFC. No, my name's Kevin. You're like, oh, in the dream you were KFC. You know,
Yeah.
I know you guys as your celebrities on the computer. I watch you. You know, I've never met anybody except Dave.
Into this stuff? Like, what kind of guy were you growing up? Were you like into videos and like technology?
I was crazy guy.
Yeah,
I did a lot of partying. I drank a lot of these, smoked a lot of those, stayed out really late or really early, depending on how you want to look at it. I hung out with crazy kids. We did crazy stuff. I mean, I'm lucky to be alive. You know, really and truly. I used to drink ride my motorcycle. You know, and I got home. I'm alive. I mean, my wife used to say to me, "Don't tell the kids what you did." You know, like they're not going to try this shit.
Yeah, but they take one look at that picture with you with no sleeves on in the tattoo place, and they knew what you were getting
I want to
into.
be like Daddy. Yeah,
It's like summer loving happens so fast.
Amazing.
I wrote a blog last week about Frank the Tank being on the private jet, and I was like, I just can't believe Frank the Tank goes from this Met fan who lost his mind because of the New Jersey Transit. I'm like, that's the craziest hiring story, other than the guy who got hired because he looked like Big Cat's NCAA character during a pandemic, or the guy who got a bunch of stoolies into his gambling live feed because Dave got screwed by their company. And then I just forgot the guy who went viral from memeing people to death got hired by the company. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Those four right there, Brandon, Frank, Vindog, it's like the most serendipity I've ever heard of in my entire life. All four.
I was sitting in the Liberty Hotel. I asked Dave if I can bring my son Dylan with me. He said, yeah. So we're sitting there, and we got there like an hour early. So we're hanging around, we're looking at the place. And all of a sudden, like 3 minutes before, Dave was supposed to get there, he texted me. He said, I'll be there in 3 minutes. And he walked in 3 minutes. Perfect. We sat down, we laughed our asses off. And I'm thinking, this guy's a really cool guy. And then he started videotaping me, and I'm like, I wasn't hip to what, social media really was.
Right.
Facebook's different, And next thing you know, on the way home, my son's like, Dad, Dave posted the video. It's going viral. You got 50,000 likes. I'm like, what? What's he doing? But Dave was a really cool guy. I mean, seeing him not with the Barstool persona, just as someone you meet in a hotel lobby to talk about going to work for him. He was really funny. We had a great time.
Have you been in Mass your whole life?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I spent some time in New Jersey.
Okay.
I worked in New York City for a while.
All right.
I lived in Florida for a bit. I've been around a little bit, so I can relate to the New York thing, but I'm a Mass guy.
Yeah. Vindog, that was a quick yes to have you lived in Mass your whole life and then rattle up.
I never really left Mass in my mind. I mean, I'm always a Mass hole. That's who I am. You go someplace, you got the accent, so you can never escape that. You know what I mean? And you're always a Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics, Bruins fan. So, I mean, you can't leave that.
Right.
So, I mean.
Were you rooting for Tampa Bay?
I was. I even got a Tampa Bay hat. My son gave me a lot of shit. He said, Dad, it's okay to root for him, but you can't buy, merch. I said, yes, you can.
That's a good fucking rule. I'll roll with your son, Vindog.
You can buy. The one thing you can do is buy that. Baby. Money green, Kevin.
I'm a big Tom Brady fan. I love Brady. I love Gronk. When I was watching him and they connected for 2 touchdowns, it's like I just like jumped. It's like my muscle memory said these are the guys you root for.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stop rooting for them. Maybe in a couple of years I could, but they'll be retired, and that'll be perfect. I'll go back to.
Do you guys think that's the only time that's happened in sports? Like even when Peyton left Indy, I don't remember like Colts fans being like, "I hope Peyton wins the Super Bowl in Denver." Like I don't remember that happening. This is the only time I remember somebody leaving a team and the fans being like, "Okay, yeah, he's fine." But I guess you deliver 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I think the two differences here are, one, Peyton didn't do as much as Tom did. Peyton, obviously a great all-time great quarterback, but just didn't already have 6 Super Bowls. And 2, I think if Tom had gone to another AFC team, I think he went to one of the most irrelevant franchises in sports history. Like no one cared about Tampa, so that made it easy to be like, "Fuck it, let's go Buccaneers. Who gives a shit?"
Right. Yeah, it'd be different if he went and played for the Steelers or something.
Right.
Oh, that would have been horrible. I hate to say it.
And I think there was enough of a vibe of like New England and Bill kind of it was mutual, but it seemed a little bit to be more like they forced him out a little bit. So I feel like
that's how I felt.
Yeah,
Belichick didn't want him there anymore, and
Do you think Tom winning this one takes any of the luster away from Bill?
No, because I think those guys work so well together. They couldn't win 6. You know what I mean? For Brady to go there, he had a great team behind him. They really set him up with some receivers. They had a great defense. They had offensive linemen that blocked for him. The Patriots just hung him out to dry the last couple of years. So I couldn't blame Tom Brady for wanting to leave, honestly.
I think it'll hurt Bill.
Your 40s, you're getting hammered every time there's a pass rush. There's no receivers. They're cutting routes, and like Brady likes to release the ball before they make their cuts, and the ball is right there when they make the cut. Guys weren't doing that. They weren't making the cuts. He's releasing the ball. They're bouncing around. People were blaming Brady. It's like, no, the receivers don't make those cuts. They don't know how to do it. He's getting pissed off. So I don't blame him. I mean, I still think he looks better in a Patriots uniform than he does in Tampa Bay uniform.
He looks good with that year-round tan, though. I will admit that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do think that him winning the Super Bowl, though, in Tampa, I was always like Belichick is the guy thing. But now I think people didn't give enough credit to Tom Brady and how much he can lift. The Bucs roster was good anyway, but like reading these stories about how he's texting them like before, being like, "Hey, we will win," and the confidence he puts in all these guys, it's crazy. I mean, that shit matters a lot.
If they miss the playoffs the next 2 years, if the Patriots miss the playoffs the next 2 years, and Brady takes the Bucs to another deep run, like even if it's to the NFC Championship, I think there will be a huge tide of people saying it wasn't Belichick. They'll go back to the Cleveland days. They'll go back to the Jets days, and they'll say, "Look, it was all Brady all the time."
I think you're right. I think he doesn't have a long time to go. But I was actually always a Brady guy. I would argue with Dave that it was Brady won, Belichick. But if it goes on for years, probably 2 more years. If Belichick doesn't put together another Super Bowl win.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. If Belichick struggles and Tom Brady doesn't miss a beat, if he's picked right back up, I mean, that's all the proof you really need. And that's not to say
the opposite of the cassette.
Hey,
it's opposite of Matt Cassell.
When I played football and I got into the huddle and looked at the quarterback's eyes, that's where I got my confidence, from the quarterback. He didn't have to say a whole lot, but if he said something positive, like, let's run our routes, let's be there, we're going to make this happen, let's go, break. And you went out there and you just knew you could do it. And Brady's that guy. Brady's that guy. You want to be in the huddle with Tom Brady and look into his eyes and let him tell you what's going to happen and tell you to go out there and do it.
That's
huge. That's huge.
I think that's the problem that Belichick's going to run into, too, is that without the successful team, then there's no reason to go play for Bill Belichick because it's notoriously hard, notoriously no days off. So, like, how do you – and granted, the franchises he's built aren't built on the backs of signing big-name free agents. You get a couple of guys, no doubt, that will take a little pay cut, but it's usually finding a fucking Kyle Van Noy, someone like that who's ready, the team's ready to move on from. But I think if, like, you don't get the Revis, you don't get the Browner if you don't have –
you're not getting, like, the Corey Dillons anymore, the LeGarrette Blunts that want to just go.
He was the draw.
Yeah.
People wanted to play on the team with Tom Brady.
Well, you know what? You're the draw for Barstool, brother. So
I don't know about that, but
good work, man.
I have much respect for all you guys. I just want you to know I'm like in awe that I'm even on the screen with you guys. To be honest with you.
Oh, get the fuck
Feelings mutual.
I'm serious.
Feelings mutual.
I was a plumber. I've been in more basements than mildew. I mean, I was a teacher. I put up with shit from students and administrators, and now here I am. It's like it's a dream come true.
When Kevin texted the group today, being like, "Hey, we got Vindog in a Friday Night Pint," I was like, "Oh, completely gassed up. You are the biggest draw on this show right now. There's no doubt."
Yeah, celebrity status, man.
Absolutely.
In the pre-show, everyone said like Vindog was the alpha. Everyone's like, "Vindog, how's it going?" We were all just like basically like cowering our heads.
There's Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Speaking of alphas, what's up?
We're about to wrap up here. It's episode 42 brought to you by Miller Lite. Make sure you go to MillerLite.com/FMP to get yours delivered to your door. But Frank, we're heading out now, so I want you to serenade us with a little Friday afternoon song.
Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday. Thank God it's Friday, Friday, Friday.
Beautiful. I love it.
Don't work anymore. It's the weekend. We're gonna kick back.
Frank looks fantastic. You can tell Frank's lost a lot of weight.
Oh yeah,
Like Frank's lost some pounds,
He
man.
jumped on the scale today.
Dude.
Dan, by the way, we won this week's Whoop Challenge.
Nice.
Frankie jumped on the. You were down a bunch.
Yeah, without shoes on, I weigh like 386.
There you go.
Let's go, Frank. Oh yeah,
How much
dude.
is that you lost, Frank?
Well, I was 469 in May.
And you're at what now?
386.
Dude, fucking A. 80 pounds ain't nothing to shake a stick at. That's awesome.
Frank, I miss you, 1, and 2, my favorite parts of your songs is I never know when they're going to end. That's the best part. You keep us on our fucking toes, dude.
All right. Thanks, everybody,
Yeah,
for joining.
I hope you start feeling better soon. And
Yeah,
so we can
thank
get
you.
back.
Big Cat, feel better, man.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You follow Vindog. What is it? Vindog 56?
Yep.
Vindog 56 on Twitter and all the other social platforms. And we'll see you guys next week. Clem, stay safe north of the wall, brother.
Great time.
Hey,
man. Let's do it again.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching Friday Night Pints. Make sure you click on the bell icon below to keep up with notifications, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Strong drinks, full pints. Can't lose.
Can't lose.